Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Exotic Astrology. We have a very special guest today. We have Navneet Chitkara ji from Vyasa Astro channel, and I'm delighted to interview him for the first time. Recently, he had interviewed me, or rather, it was a beautiful conversation which we had on free will and destiny, karma, astrology, and how to see how much free will anybody has. And he also gave his amazing insights. And that video I had uploaded to my channel, and he had also uploaded to his channel. And it seems many of you really loved our conversation. And he recently approached me saying that we should do another session. And then I was like, yes, we will do another, but this time you have to be on the uh, speaker's end. So I will be interviewing you. So Navneet ji is a very amazing astrologer, and he has his very beautiful website, which I'm looking through now. Name is, Rudra Vedic Academy. That's the name.
Yeah,
And of course, he does consultations, and he has so many astrology courses or on different astrological topics. And I also see he has courses on gemology, palmistry, vastu. I mean, I'll just pin the website
yeah,
down in the
yeah,
description section. And also, he has a YouTube channel. And he, as we were discussing, he was telling me that there are like students from all over the world, like 18 different countries of the world, who are
yeah,
studying under him, who
yeah.
are very fortunate, of course. So, Navneet ji, welcome to Exotic Astrology. This is the first time you're here, and please enlighten me and the viewers of Exotic Astrology. What are you going to
Yeah,
speak today? Looking forward.
yeah, yeah. Thank you, Hare Krishna, Babaji ji, and such a pleasure and such a delight to be, there on the channel. And I've grown up, in astrology, from the blessings of my guru Sanjay Rath ji and Arjun Pai, and then I've seen lots and lots of your videos when I was grooming myself in Jyotish. And then I never thought in my life that I will be coming on this platform and I'll be doing videos together, with you. So such a delight. And the first video has come in such an auspicious month of Shravana, right? And this is the purest, and it is the strongest blessing, which is directly coming from Vishnu and Shiva. I'm sure about that. There's no doubt about it. And I'm absolutely excited, delighted, charged up, on your channel. Thank you for inviting me on your channel, Babaji ji. Thank you.
My pleasure. Very good to
Right.
have you here.
Yeah. So, what topic, Babaji ji, you want me to come up with?
Uh, I was thinking it's the month of Shravan, and as you said, we
Yes.
discussed a bit on this month and what are the things that we can do and
Uh,
significance of this month, and yeah, remedies
yeah.
or anything which we can do to
Yeah.
improve our life or to tune into that higher energy. So
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
will be a very good topic, I hope, today.
No, thank you. See, you know what? I have the first thing I would like to tell you is that we both share the common date of birth. Okay, so this is something, something great. And the second thing I want to tell you is that I always loved somehow the month of Shravana. We call it in Northern India called Savan, right? Because I was born very near to the Savan, and so are you, sir, right? Because we our birth is in the Savan actually. When I was born somewhere in 19, some that date, it was very close to the Savan month, and it was raining outside, it was thundering outside when I was born, and I expect something like from yours also, because you're also born in the same month, right, and almost in the same date. So right, so Shravana, the first thing I always wanted to understand when I started learning Jyotish was that why in the Vedic system we have these months named under the name of nakshatras, right? So out of the 27 nakshatra belt, we have 12 nakshatras representing the 12 Vedic months, right? So no, the system is that when we ever have the Puranmashi or the Purnima, right, and when moon is in a particular nakshatra on a Puranmashi, that nakshatra is named on the month of that particular month, that. So like we have Shravana, where the moon is in the Shravana nakshatra, in the Purnima, so which is
Correct.
coming on 21st of August, and we have Raksha Bandhan that day as well, right? So every moon Purnima is a festival. Like there is the Guru Purnima, which was on the Ashada Purnima,
Correct.
right? So that was the Guru Purnima. Like just similarly, we have Buddha Purnima also on the Purnima of a particular nakshatra, right? So all the Purnimas, the 12 Purnimas, they fall in a particular nakshatra, and the name of that nakshatra becomes the name of that month. So that is the first thing. Now, to understand the Shravana nakshatra, so the Shravana month, we have to understand the Shravana nakshatra, right? To understand the Shravana nakshatra, we must understand all the three, nakshatras of the moon. Very, very important, right? Then we'll understand that why, right? Out of all the three nakshatras of the moon, right, the Purnima was into the Shravana, not into Rohini or Hasta, right? So that is where we'll try to figure out. So what I'll do is my favorite SOPs to play on the whiteboard. So I would need your permission to
Sure, sure.
share
Why
my
not?
whiteboard with you, so that I can start, and this is also something that my students like a lot, right? And we
Okay.
always do a lot of things on a very, very conventional way. It feels like I'm doing it with my hands, right? And they love it, right? Though my handwriting and drawing is very, very bad, right? However, so you got to bear with me with that. So we're talking about the moon, right? Now moon is basically, he leads three nakshatras that we have, right? So we have Rohini to begin with, right? And Rohini is in the Taurus. I'll just write two. And then we have the Hasta, right?
Correct.
Which falls in the Virgo, the six. And then we have the Shravana, right? So we have this Shravana here, or Shravan nakshatra, and this falls in the Capricorn, in the 10th,
Recall.
right? And the zodiac, the degree will be see is it starts from 10 degree of Taurus to 23 degree and 20 minutes of Taurus, right? This is the Rohini, and so is the Hasta. So it is the same, for all the three, the degree. But see, in the Shravana, the first things that catches in the Shravana, it is the Janama Nakshatra of Vishnu Ji, right? It is
Correct.
the Jan, yeah. And also, you know, the Pushkar Navamsha and the Pushkar Bhava, they both fall in the Shravana, right? So that's another thing. The third most important thing is that when the Sagar Manthan was happening, to get that Amrit, the nectar, right?
Yeah.
That Manthan happened in the month of Shravana. Okay, so
Okay.
that the
Interesting.
month in which, yeah, the month in which the Sagar Manthan has happened, right, between the Devatas and the Asuras, and they were all fighting for, the Amrit, right? That was the month, that was the Shravan Mantha. Now,
Okay.
now to understand the Shravan Mantha, we'll have to make this Shravana Nakshatra as a Lagna. So once we make
Okay.
this as a Lagna, we'll understand so many things. So what we'll do is, let me go ahead and make a small chart, and I'll tell you what happens, after the magic starts from here, right? So in a lot of YouTube videos, we are seeing that people are saying, oh, you should do this, you should do that, it is very auspicious, it is for Shiva. People they are dedicate this month to Shiva. But then the most important thing is to understand that why Shiva, right? What significant happened. So for that, we'll make this Shravana nakshatra as a lagna to understand the Shravan month, right? So I'll
Okay.
write 10 here, which is the Capricorn, and then 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and 9. See, all the three moon nakshatras are going to take the place of 1, 5, and 9, right? So here we have the Shravana, right? So we have Shravana here, and then we have Rohini here, right? And we have the Hasta here.
Correct.
Okay. Now, see, this is the Janma Nakshatra of Vishnuji.
Correct.
Now, Vishnuji says that when the Sagar Manthan was happening, the Amrit was about to come. Prior to that, there was a lot of halahal. So halahal is
Yes.
the venom, the zahar that has come out,
Correct. Correct.
right? And everyone was like, oh, now it's over. It's not going to happen. So Narad ji was the one who said, okay, we'll call Shiva. He's the one who can solve this issue. So he was called and he just drank all the halahal, right? So what do you
Yes.
mean by the poison? So what all poison, the exact meaning of the poison, the halahal, are all the shadripus that we have, right? So see, Vishnu sitting here is looking at Shiva. Hasta is actually Shiva, right? So if Rohini is the Prajapati Brahma,
Yes.
the
Yes.
lordship,
Prajapati. Yes.
right? The Brahma, right? So
Yeah.
Vishnu is over here. Anyways, the lordship of Shravana is with Vishnuji,
Correct.
right? So Vishnuji is here. The third trikon has to be Shiva
Correct.
under
Perfect.
any circumstances.
Correct.
Any
Has to be.
circumstances. So has to be. Now here we have Hasta. So the deities, the energies of Hasta is Savitur,
Correct.
right? So Savitur is one of the 12 Adityas, right? And
Exactly.
and we have Vishwakarma, right? Who
Yes.
has designed, all the bhavans and emanations and Sudarshan chakras, everything is designed by Vishwakarma, right? All the weapons of the devtas are designed by Vishwakarma, right? So
Correct.
we have these energies here, and we have that story of Shiva, presenting the Sudarshan chakra to Vishnuji, right? When he was praying with 1008 lotus flowers. So many stories are there in the classics. So now the Shiva had the poison, and Shiva had the poison, and Vishnuji said that for me, see, I am the supreme power, right? It is my desire from where the Brahma and Shiva is there. But on the same time, right, my guru, see, Raja Ram took Janama in a particular nakshatra called Punarvasu. So do you think that why was he born in Punarvasu? It was his Leela to tell everyone that, you're supposed to be like that. So ninth from the Punarvasu, fifth from the Punarvasu. So that was the Leela. Similarly, Vishnuji, the Janam Nakshatra is not assigned to Vishnuji. Vishnuji will choose a nakshatra. Okay, so he'll choose a nakshatra. So he chose the Shravana because he knew the ninth from the Shravana, in the ninth house from the Shravana or the zodiac is going to be Shiva. So Shiva is the one who is going to be the protector. So from here, your guru is always your protector, the ninth
Correct.
house, right? The protection is coming from the guru, right? Forget about spirituality, religion, whatever, the protection, is always coming from the guru. So the first protection was coming from the mother when you were in the
Correct.
womb. So mother becomes the first guru,
Correct.
so mother becomes the first guru, right? And so on. So Vishnu ji is trying to do a leela, by saying that Shiva is ninth from me, right? So Shiva will save and protect all the devatas, right? So he did, and he did it in the Shravana month, right? So all the devatas has given had dedicated this month to Shiva, right?
Correct.
Now that is the significance. Now he says that the Lord of here Shravana is Shani, right? So Shani says that I also get my protection from Shiva because he is the destroyer. Your swas, the udana, samana vayu that we have, I had videos on different types of samana vayu and different types of vayus that Shani represents. So for Shani also, it is the Shiva which is protecting Shani as well, right? That is why the hasta is represented by a hand, right?
Okay.
So it is represented by a hand, and in the hand, what do we have, right? We have the basically we have the three major lines in the hand, right? So one of them is called the mind, you know, mastiks rekha, right? And then the other one is called the lifeline, right?
Lifeline.
And similarly, we have the brain line, right?
Correct.
So this hasta has two more energies here. The energies is the lordship of the rashis with the Mercury,
Yeah.
the Buddha,
Correct.
right?
Gorgo.
And the Lord is the Chandra of the
Correct.
Hasta. So here we see the mind line is coming from the moon, right? The brain line is coming from the Mercury and the Hasta, and the lifeline is coming from the Shiva. Because Shiva will decide, no, Shani wants to, say, okay, these many years, these many minutes and seconds, you'll have to come back. But then that final approval, after showing all your prarabdh is coming from Shiva, right? So when Vishwakarma had designed, the body structure, the palms, right? Because Vishwakarma is a designer. He doesn't he just not designed the mahal or the all the palaces or or the weapons. He has designed, he has architect the sharira also for Shiva, because he gave the recommendation that this is how it has to be, right? So from here, he said the hasta will have three energies primarily: the moon, the Mercury, and the Shiva. Right. So the lifeline is coming from Shiva, and lifeline directly belongs to a planet called Shani, Saturn, because until and unless Shiva will not sign your death, right? The destruction, right? Saturn has no ability.
Correct.
Saturn is zero, right? So the longevity, is also coming from here, right? So now to have the mind, which is meditation, the Mercury, which is Vishnu, right? Your intelligence, the Lagna, right? And your longevity, everything revolves around one energy called Shiva, right? And Shiva is treated as a guru, is a leela of Vishnu ji, that he's saying, for me also, my guiding force, my poison, right? As everything is taken by Shiva. And I dedicate this Shravana month to Shiva, that whosoever will pray in the Shravan month, keep upavasa, right? And do Shiva chanting and go to Ganga ji, bring the water and अपने जितने भी पाप धोएंगे or burn all your bad karmas. So all those bad shadripus and karmas will be taken away by Shiva. He'll take it. He'll say, okay, give it to me. Right? Whatever you have, the poison that you have, just give it to me. I'll take it. I know how to manage it. I'll do it. So this is how, this is importance of the Shravana, right? That
Wow.
this entire month is dedicated to Shiva, right? And on the same time, now the question was that Vishnuji need energy of the other planets also, especially the Surya Devata. Now my Guruji, used to say that Navneet, Surya takes all the three forms in a day. He takes the form of a Brahma, he takes the form of the Vishnu and form of the Shiva. I said, Guruji, how? So he said, when the day starts in the early morning, right, the Surya Devata is the Brahma. So when he
Okay.
operates at the full strength, right, in the 10th house, the complete strength, 12, 1 o'clock, nobody can even look at him. He's at the 100% strength. He is Vishnu, right? And when the night comes, he's going, right? He's leaving everything. Then he becomes the Shiva, right? So Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva is the Adityas. So
Correct.
here there is another Aditya called Savitur, which is also associated with the Hasta, right? Is he associated with Hasta or Shravana? Right?
Yes.
Hasta, right?
Correct.
Now the Savitur, yeah, the Savitur is what? Savitur is one of the Adityas of the Surya Devata,
Correct.
the
12
sun,
Adityas. Yes.
12 Adityas. Now my Guruji says, Babaji ji, that no prayer, no prayer cannot, I mean, it cannot be complete without keeping Surya Devata in the loop.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that is why, you need to, you need to start your day with the Gayatri mantra, right? Only then other mantras will give you the effect if you've started your day with the Gayatri, right? And that is why it says Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha Tat Savitur Vareniyam Bhargo
Yes.
Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodaya. So, Surya Devata is a medium between your prayers and Vishnuji, right? So until and unless you don't have Surya Sakshi, right? Surya Devata has to be the Sakshi. Sakshi means that he has to be, the Gavaha. He has to be one person who is standing with you and, converting your prayers into the light, and that light is reaching your Devata to whom you are praying. So that is what the actual responsibility of the Surya Devata. So you see, in every Shravana nakshatra, right, or in the Shravan month, the Surya is in two very important nakshatras. One is in the Punarvasu, and second is the Pushya. The
Correct.
Punarvasu is the repetition, and the
Correct.
Pushya is the nourishment,
Correct.
right? So that is why the repetition and the nourishment is being, whatever you're doing, whatever prayers you're doing, that is communicated through Surya Devta to the Shiva, right? And Shiva, since it is coming from the Punarvasu and Pushya, so lot of nourishment is coming back. So the law of light is to reflect back the things, right?
Correct.
So you can see me yellow because I am reflecting yellow, right? So
Yes.
it is reflecting the nourishment and repetition, right, within this month, right? Because Surya Devta is in these two nakshatras, right? So that is why it is said that if you keep only 4 or 5, I mean, fortunately or unfortunately, we have only 4 Somvaras in this Savan, in this. So like if you have 4 or 5, Somvars or Mondays, and if you keep an Upavasa, so it is considered equal to 16 Upavasas, or maybe the upvasas of 1 year, because it is getting
Correct.
the nourishment, it is getting the nourishment and the repetition from from Pushya and Punarvasu.
Okay,
Pushya is
excellent.
complete nourishment. Yeah, and Pushya is the repetition, right? Second time, third time, fourth time, right? So that is Punar means repeating things,
Correct,
right?
correct,
So in the Shravana, the aim which Srishti is giving us is to just leave our poison to Shiva, because Shiva is happy to take your poison. The only thing he wants from you is the that you should be very, very clear with your Shadripus. He doesn't want any fancy mantras. Just even if you say Shiva, 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 or you say Om Namah Shivaya or Om Shivaya Namaha, the Panchaksharis, right? Or just the Shivaya Nama, the very beautiful. So Shivaya Nama was one mantra that was done by Ma Parvati to achieve Shiva, right? So she was doing the Panchakshari. The Panchakshari goes to the fifth house straight away, right? It is going to the
correct.
fifth house. The fifth house is where you get your love, where you get your romance, right? Where you get your fifth house is where you actually find the true love, right?
Correct.
So it was the Shivaya Namha. So she says that Shiva is even bigger than the Namha or the Om for me. So I'll say Shivaya and the Namha. So that Panchakshari, with this Panchakshari, Ma Parvati has achieved Shiva, right? So these mantras like Shivaya Namaha, Om Namah Shivaya, and then there are mantras pertaining to Yam, but mantras pertaining to Vam Avatara, like Om Shim Shivaya Namaha, Om Vam Shivaya Namaha, Om Yam Shivaya Namaha. So these are the mantras, that you can, you know, recite and chant. But if you want to be very simple, just keep saying Om Namah Shivaya at least 16 rounds, every day, just like we do, as Vaishnavas do Krishna Maha Mantra 16 rounds. I mean, this is minimum. I've seen, Vaishnavas doing 32, 64, and even more rounds than that,
Correct.
right?
108.
So 108 also. So like, so at least if you do 16 rounds of Om Namah Shivaya, and also you see, the the hasta here in the Shiva is also the north direction in the chart. So if this is east, no, this is south, MC, this is south, right? So with the south, and this is west, and this is north. So here, when this is south, you see in Kerala there is a festival called Onam,
Yes.
you know that is also celebrated, in the Shravana, right? And then again, is it
Yeah,
the
we have to check this Onam.
yeah,
I can
it is
quickly
in
check
the,
it.
yeah, you can check it, because I feel, because this Onam is
Yeah,
also
yeah, yeah.
celebrated
Correct, correct. 12th,
in the
12th to 23rd August. Correct.
yes, so it is in the Shravana. So what happens here is that this is the story of the Bali Maharaj. So Bali,
Okay.
he wanted the entire world. He wanted to be the next Indra, right?
Correct.
So the Vaman avatar, he went there and he became a boy, and that story is there. He took the three steps. So Hasta is also represented by three steps. you
Correct.
know
Correct.
so he took those three steps, and then he that was actually Vishnuji, right?
Correct.
And you know what, all the tantra vidyas in India, so I was researching that where it is coming from. So all the tantra vidya in India is either coming from the west, or sorry, it's coming from the east, towards the West Bengal and that side, or it is coming from the Kerala. Okay,
Okay.
so lot of tantra vidyas, lot of asura vidyas is coming from the, and you see Kerala is exact southwest of India,
Ah, okay.
right? The exact southwest side is the Kerala. So it is coming from there, and the exact southwest is where you have the asuras. So what do we have in southwest? We have Rahu, right? The energy of the Rahu and the all the Asuras. So that means Shiva will also become the Lord of all the Tantra, the Agam, Nigam, and the Tantra Vidya as well. Right? So
Okay.
that is also Vishnuji is saying that Shiva sitting in the ninth house from me is exactly the southwest of the zodiac. And from there, he's gonna control that as well. So unka jo zehar hai, wo bhi Shiva is gonna have it. Right? So Shiva is gonna have that zehar also. So Shiva has that capacity. And if we pray to Shiva with our heart and soul open, you know, this is a time when he'll take away all our shadripus, Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, all the all the negativity. So these are the shadripus that we have, right? So this Shravana month, just keep it simple. Upavasa means which is close, and Vasa means inside. So technically, Upavasa is not that you're not eating food. Upavasa is that you are Shiva conscious whole day, 24 hours. So you can only be Shiva conscious or Krishna conscious if your energy and blood is not going in the stomach, right? It is here, up. So that is why it
Okay.
says that you eat little bit, eat limited, right? So that, once we have food, we feel little dizzy, we want to have some sweet after that, want to sleep for some time. He said, no, no, no. Upvasa means that 24 hours you need to be conscious. And you can only be conscious when you are not fully, you've not fully filled your stomach, right? And you have to eat very sattvic because Shiva is the highest form of sattvikta, the highest level of auspiciousness. That is actually Shiva, right? So according
Yes,
to me,
that's the meaning of
yeah,
the word. All most
yeah.
auspicious, all
So,
auspicious.
so that is how I feel that the Shravana is the time to give up all your Shadripus, to give up all and just surrender to Shiva and give away that, okay, I have Kam, I have Krodha, I have Lobha, I have Moha. It is very difficult for me to give up all these things, but I surrender and I bow my head on your lotus feet and I'll recite Om Namah Shivaya. Please ask Surya Devata, right, to take my prayers and make them reach to you and reflect back, you know, your blessings to me, right? I'll also will be doing Gayatri Mantra in the morning. I'll start with Surya Namaskara. I'll do all my steps. I'll do a Gayatri and then whole day I'll chant Om Namah Shivaya in the Shravan month. And for next 11 months, right, you will see significant changes around you in terms of your mentality about looking things, about your mindset, of what people are saying and doing for you, that everything will change. See, the change that has come to me, Babaji ji, is that I have felt a very sacrificing nature. I have started sacrificing so many things without even thinking, which is actually the energy of Shiva, right? My mother used to say that whatever God you pray, the qualities of that God will come in you. That is for sure,
Okay.
right? If you pray Krishna a lot, right, you will become like always happy and always in a very very sattvic luxury, right? If you are Shiva, if you are praying Krishna, and if you're praying Shiva, you'll take all the negative energy from others, you'll keep it within you and still remain very very auspicious, right? So
Perfect.
that's and I've seen a lot of Shiva followers, who are very sacrificing, who remain little isolated, right? Always taking negativity from others and trying to convert them into positivity, doing a lot of meditation, right? And very close to Jala, because then the only way Shiva can say that, okay, I'm blessing you is through rain, right? So Shiva say, I'll give you all the rains in the Savan, right? So you need
Okay.
not give water to your crops. I am there. Just keep praying, and I'll shower everything on you, right? So that is why we have maximum rains in the Savan, right? That is the natural blessing of Shiva, which is coming. So this is how, I mean, any devata or any energy will give you blessings only through Mother Nature. So we need to understand that why rains in the Shravana only, because it is directly coming from Shiva. And moon is sitting on the head of Shiva and he's helping Shiva. What else can I do for you? He is the source. Right. So this
Yes.
is my take home for the Shravana month, and this is how we scientifically understand this.
Well, I've had a lot of recordings, but yeah, this recording was very special because I think rarely have I ever discussed on the months, and as you very beautifully touched on why the Purnimas are associated with these nakshatras and the 12 names are given for the months. And of course, very beautifully you showed the hand also, how
Yeah,
all the three are connected and how beautifully Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, this harmony is playing out. And at the end, of course, you spoke about Lord Shiva, that his capacity to drink poison,
yeah,
that is beyond imagination. In fact, I had also heard something similar about Lord Shiva once I was attending a lecture long time back. So the speaker was telling that when this universe was clouded by the Kalkut wish, when this
yeah,
Sagar Manthan, as you said,
yeah,
which started,
yeah.
then it was appearing as if the entire world, the entire universe will be destroyed. So who will be
Yes,
taking this poison?
yes,
And then when Lord Shiva took this poison very mercifully, then it is said that Mother Parvati, goddess
yeah,
Parvati, had, out of
yeah,
her love for Lord Shiva,
yeah, yeah.
she had put her hand in his
On the
neck,
neck, yeah, yeah.
and that prevented the poison to go down from his neck.
Down,
So, and
yeah,
that is why he's known
yes,
as Neelkant, one whose neck
yeah,
is blue in color.
yeah, yeah,
But the speaker was telling me that the acharyas explain that even
yeah,
if that poison, even if she would have not kept it here,
yeah,
even if that
yeah,
poison would have gone down into his
yeah.
body,
Still,
even then he
yeah,
would have remained unaffected by it.
yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah,
so at our level, how do we understand this? At our level, we understand this in a way that to our capacity. Now, of course, we are not Shiva that we can drink all the poison
yeah.
and still
We
not be
can't do
affected.
that.
Some
Yeah,
people are like that, but
yeah.
everybody is like that to a
No,
different extent. A very
yeah,
elevated
yeah,
person will
yeah.
be like Shiva to a very big
A
extent.
very, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So we also have to see in our life, considering
yeah.
our duties, our materialistic responsibilities, to what
Yes, yeah,
extent can we be like that? So, for example,
absolutely.
as in Srimad Bhagavatam, also it is said,
Yeah.
Lord Shiva, he's one of the 12 Mahajans. There are the 12 Mahajans.
Yes, yes,
And Mahajans are great personalities who
yeah,
exemplify religious conduct, religious principles, not just by words, by their behavior. They are like
yes,
acharyas, which
yes, yes,
who
yes,
preach by their own example, actually.
yes,
So
yes,
but the Bhagavatam also says that Mahajano yena gata sapanta, that we should try to follow in the footsteps of the Mahajans. So
fantastic.
therefore, in our life also, as you said, we should try to see to what extent can we be like Lord Shiva, that we
Yeah,
can take some negativity, but we are not affected
yes,
by it. Because
yes, yes,
in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is said that when Daksh Prajapati, his
yeah,
supposedly his father-in-law, of course,
yes,
he's not
yes,
like
yeah, yeah,
when Daksh Prajapati came into the yagya where Lord
yeah,
Brahma was also sitting,
yeah,
then
yeah, yeah,
everybody stood up in the yagya, Sati Devi's
accept,
father,
yeah,
except these two, Brahma and Shiva. And Prajapati
yes,
Daksh is the son of Brahma. So he did
yes,
not mind. My father has not stood up. It's not a big deal. Of course, he's my father. No, nobody expects your father to come and pay homage unto you. But then Shiva was his
Shiva was
son-in-law,
fun, yeah,
as per
yeah, he should
relation.
have, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so he was so egoistic that he thought that Lord Shiva should stand up.
stand,
And
yeah,
yeah, in respects to him, of course. So
Yes.
he had this narrow mindset that yes, Sati is my daughter, and this
Yeah.
person
Yeah.
is, my daughter's husband.
Yeah.
How dare he not stand up?
Yeah.
But the Bhagavatam explains that Lord Shiva, why did he not stand up? Not
Yeah.
because he was thinking, oh, anyways, who is this Daksha? This person is nobody in front of
Yeah.
me. He may be
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
father-in-law. How does it matter?
Yeah.
No, but I
Yeah.
am Shiva
Yeah.
after all. That was not
Yeah.
the reason.
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
was uh, fixed in trance. He was at a very high stage. He was least concerned about what was going on in that yagya, or who came,
Yeah.
who paid obeisance. And I mean, he was at a different state. So that is why he did not pay. He did not get up, right?
Yeah.
But then Daksha became very angry, and he offended Lord Shiva there. And then later on, of course, Veerabhadra came and he got a goat head, as the Bhagavatam
Yeah.
says. And
Yeah.
later on,
Yeah.
he begged forgiveness, and yeah, Lord Shiva
Yeah.
gave him this goat head. So,
Yes.
so the thing is that when he insulted Lord Shiva did not
React.
counter him back, or he did not
Yeah.
punish him or kill him or do something
Yeah.
like so.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though he could have done it, who is Daksha in front of
Yeah.
Shiva? He's like,
Yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
comparison, of course.
Absolutely.
But he
Absolutely.
tolerated that. He did not do so.
Right.
And
Right. Right.
he really exemplifies this quality of simplicity, as
Yes.
he has this, he can get anything, he can do anything that he wishes, but he's still,
Just not doing it.
he doesn't have a home.
Yes. Yes.
That is
Yes.
why
Yes.
Lord Shiva is also referred sometimes to as Aniket. Aniket means one who is
Yeah.
homeless. So,
Yes.
in fact,
Yes.
that's the fun that he is known to
Yes.
bless so many people, like especially so many asuras with luxuries, home,
Yes.
the
Yes.
pleasures of the heavens, beautiful woman,
Yes.
richness,
Yes.
beauty, intelligence,
Yes. Yes.
wealth,
Yes.
prosperity. But he himself
Yes.
is homeless, actually.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that
And the marriages, as well. The people who want to have a good life partner,
Oh
they are
yes, of
fasting.
course. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah.
the thing. He himself doesn't,
Yeah.
as they
Yeah.
say, subscribe to all
Yes.
these
Yes. Yes.
materialistic pleasures. But whoever praise him, they definitely are blessed by him. So he
Yeah.
really exemplifies simplicity, and he
Yes.
exemplifies this sacrificing nature. That yes, I may be
Yes.
in difficulty, but if that
Yes.
person's life improves because of my difficulty, then so be it. It's worth it. So therefore, we should
Absolutely.
really be inspired by these two qualities of Lord Shiva, that we
Yes.
we maintain a simple life, which means we take that which is required for ourselves.
Correct.
Now, out of our karma, we may have, we may be very rich. Many times people think that
Yeah.
being simple is like, oh, you should not have a home, you should not have a car, you should not
No.
have anything, just live like a beggar, sleep,
No.
in a
That
tree,
is not
don't
simple.
wear anything. That is, of course, one definition of simplicity, but
Yes.
the scriptures explain there are many definitions of
Yeah.
being simple.
Yeah.
So suppose if
Yeah.
there is a
Yeah.
billionaire's child, that he may from his childhood he may roam in a Mercedes, or maybe in a
Yeah.
very wealthy car, because that's how his lifestyle is, right? So for him,
Right.
the definition of simplicity will be different compared to a middle
Absolutely.
class person, right?
Absolutely.
The
Absolutely.
definition for simplicity for the son or daughter of a beggar will be different, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So
You know,
simplicity
I,
at our
yes.
level, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, please, yes,
I
please.
had an experience of simplicity was that I got this opportunity of, someone who was a millionaire who just came to my home, right? And,
Okay.
uh, you know, we were discussing on some astrological consultation. And then I offered him the lunch that, let's have lunch together at my home. And he said, okay, let's do it. The amount of simplicity, Babaji, what he was carrying his four chapatis, simple chapatis, you know, and he was carrying some pickle with him. And he opened those four chapatis, said, "This is my lunch. You can bring whatever, you can take two chapatis, I'll also take one or two chapatis from you, and we'll have it together, right?
Okay.
So I have seen people on Mercedes, people with that level. See, simplicity can be there with anyone who is blessed by Shiva, to be very honest.
Correct, correct.
And then I asked him that, see, I mean, see, I could see from the chart the fifth house was representing Shiva, the Ishtadeva energy was coming of the Shiva. I said, what do you do? He said that it's been 19 years that I am fasting every Monday.
Wow.
He's not done Udapan from past 19 years, and he said
Wow.
that I'm keeping the lifelong Upavasa of Monday, be it Shravana, be it Bhado, be it Ashwin, whatever month. I am on
Oh,
fasting, right? And so I mean, the only thing I felt was the maximum blessing, the kripa is coming in a way that he's so simple.
yeah, yes,
he
yes.
he doesn't he doesn't care about the car, he doesn't care about where he's sitting, he doesn't care about, I mean, everything is come to him from his prarabdha,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
But then he's so simple. That is the beauty of becoming a Shiva devotee. And Shiva, once you become simple, Shiva will do one more blessing to you. Shiva will promote you, he will promote you to Krishna, because fifth house, five places from the ninth house is Vishnu, right?
Yes.
From the Hasta. So he will promote you. So I have seen tons and tons of Krishna devotees who were extreme Shiva devotees in the past,
I see. Okay. Yeah,
right?
in
Because he
fact,
will,
this is very
yeah,
true actually. I remember there was one person I met him. He said he was in a place, I will not take the name, but he
yeah,
was from a place in India where there is a Shiva temple and a Krishna temple
yeah,
just opposite to each other. And then what happened was this person used to go to the Shiva temple always. And initially he was very materialistic, asking for material boons
yeah,
and all this. And then after some time he got frustrated. He got some of them, but still he was frustrated. So he asked the pujari that, sir, what's happening? I asked this to Lord Shiva, I got it, but then I also got a lot of frustration. Now what should I do? Then he
mm,
said, oh, why did you waste your time asking for all this mundane, useless, materialistic boons? And then he said, what should I do? He said, you should be selfless, pray to Shiva selflessly to give you the best thing, rather than you telling Shiva what you
yeah,
think is best for you. So
yeah,
then he started praying to Lord Shiva that please give me the best thing that you think is good
yeah,
according to you, not according to what my mind says.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
then, then suddenly he started gaining some attraction towards Lord Krishna, and then
Krishna,
he started going to the Krishna temple. And from last 35 years, he's a very big Krishna devotee. So,
yeah,
and even now on Shivratri, he visits the Shiva temple,
yes,
of
yes,
course, and on
yes,
during Shravan month also. So, you are
yes,
very right. This is very
yeah,
true when you say that.
yeah, yeah.
Anyways, sir, thank you very much. I guess
Thank you
it's
so
quite
much, sir.
late there in
Thank,
India, and
thank you.
it was
Yeah,
an amazing
yeah.
session. And I hope
Thank you.
the viewers of Exotic Astrology and your channel also will be delighted to hear about Shravan month. So, as Navneet ji very beautifully pointed out, whoever is watching this, please utilize this month of Shravan to do Pavas. And as he said, not just only mere meager fasting, but also being conscious of Lord Shiva or whichever deity you are most attracted to or which you
Yeah,
identify with, if not Shiva,
yeah,
and try to read the scriptural texts connected to that deity and especially
yes,
connected to Lord
yes,
Shiva from Shiva
yes,
Mahapuran, or you
yeah,
can also read the Srimad Bhagavatam. There are many stories of Lord
yeah,
Shiva
yeah,
interacting with the Prachetas and so many other stories.
yes,
So,
yes,
either ways, utilize this month. And even if you're from a different religion, whichever tradition you identify and you are inspired by, do more spiritual practices for of
yes,
that tradition. All right. So,
yes,
and yes, of course, before we close it, please go and check his amazing website and
Thank
his
you.
YouTube
Thank
channel
you.
down below. Okay.
Thank you so
And if you
much.
want consultations, then you can also approach him.
It is such a pleasure on this
Yeah.
channel, such a
Thank you,
delight.
sir. Thank you. See you
Thank you.
soon.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. See you again.
Thank you.